It's a proud moment for Kenyans because we are finally getting a uniting factor, something that is exciting for the entire lovers of not only just football but the entire sports.
I've really enjoyed especially the Harambee Stars games, sababu fans of course wamejituma, and Kasarani is looking spectacular. It's beautiful, so it's a beautiful view from the outside world also.
Introducing Duracoat Aquatec Credential, Kenya's first tintable waterproofing paint.
The 14th day of August 2025 it is. Good afternoon and a warm welcome to KBC Channel 1 Lunchtime News. The Pamoja Chan tournament continues in Kenya, Uganda and Tanzania, and right here on your true sports partner KBC Channel 1. I have details in regards to that, including matches in Group A today. But other than that, we are still keeping tabs with what is happening in the great lakeside county of Homa Bay, where the Devolution Summit is currently underway. We'll be looking at that plus much more. Thank you indeed so much for joining us. I'm Njue. Byron Aboli is my colleague on the sign language interpretation. Straight to the news. The East African Community and the Southern African Development Community Summit have endorsed the merger of the Nairobi and Luanda peace processes into a single African-led mediation framework supported by the African Union, which is to improve coordination and impact. During a virtual summit, delegates also welcomed the progress from Washington and Doha diplomatic tracks, commending President Paul Kagame and Felix Tshisekedi of Rwanda and the DRC for embracing dialogue, and acknowledged the facilitation of the United States of America and Qatar. President William Ruto, who co-chaired the virtual summit alongside President Emerson Mnangagwa of Zimbabwe, reaffirmed that a united Africa-led approach is the surest path to durable peace and stability in Eastern DRC.
Presented a set of enabling documents developed in consultation with the Africa Union Commission to guide the operation of the merged East Africa-led Nairobi and Luanda peace processes. And these documents included, number one, the framework for the merger of the Nairobi-Luanda processes. Number two, terms of reference for the 5-member panel of facilitators appointed by the joint EAC SADC summit. Number three, process design for an inclusive mediation process in Eastern DRC. Number four, the proposed structure of the independent secretariat to support the facilitation process. And number five, the resource mobilization framework for supporting the joint initiative.
From regional peace to devolution, let's cross over to the great county of Homa Bay. My colleague Achola Simon and my editor Caro Kamau are currently following up on that, and now join us right now for more. Achola Simon, if you can hear me, good afternoon and a warm welcome. What is currently happening today? We did see the president was at the opening or at the launch of that summit. What more can you tell us?
I just want to let you know today that some of the key events that have actually happened today has been that of the launch of the digital health strategic plan by the Health Cabinet Secretary Aden Duale. And of course, just speaking in terms of ensuring the government needing to work out of possible means to ensure that indeed that they onboard each and every Kenyan on the health insurance fund. And of course, he's just said that they've actually done quite a lot in terms of ensuring that that system works. And some of the things that they've actually just done from October up until to date, he says that they've actually disbursed close to 58.7 billion shillings towards ensuring that that system actually works. And he says that the better part of that, or a big chunk of that resources, has gone towards level 2 and level 3 hospitals, just ensuring that Kenyans that can actually walk into those level or those cadre hospitals in terms of ensuring that they can actually access outpatient services and trying to iron out all the challenges that have actually bedeviled that system since it was actually launched. But also there are a number of very interesting activities that will actually be going on in the afternoon. Of course, we'll be keeping a keen eye on it. And then, of course, in our subsequent bulletin, we'll be in a position to actually inform our listeners and viewers of exactly what will be happening. But right now, I want to pass over to my colleague, Wycliffe Okech, who is actually with the General Manager of REREC, that is the Rural Electrification and Renewable Energy Corporation, of course, just speaking to the narrative of ensuring that each and every part of this country can actually get energy. And energy, of course, as we all know, is actually part of the key drivers of our economy. And of course, as we speak right now, Wycliffe is on the other side with the General Manager of REREC. And of course, he'll be expounding more on exactly what they're doing in terms of ensuring that more and more Kenyans can actually be connected to the national grid.
Has been Simon Achola live from Homabay there, giving us just a brief of what to expect today in the Devolution conference. The keynote address will be delivered by the former Premier Raila Odinga, and something that he has been able to mention is that CS Duale, that the health CS, has been able to also officially launch the health management system, and just to indicate how exactly is going to be changing the health sector. And also the Devolution, other than looking back at the steps and the gains that we have made, they're also looking at matters governance, graft, innovation, not forgetting resource allocation. More of that a little bit later on, but moving on, the government has dispatched a special team to investigate the skirmishes that rocked a Chicago town in Mbere, Embu County, on Monday and Tuesday between traders from Meru and Embu, that's the Mogoka traders from Embu and Meru, that led to massive destruction of property and injuries to scores of other people. Speaking at the DCC's grounds in Embu, CS Geoffrey Ruko assured residents that perpetrators of the chaos would be held accountable as the government gets to the root cause of the flare-up. He also issued a stern warning to public servants, including police officers, for failing to prevent the skirmishes. The clash is said to have been sparked by theft of motorcycles.
Police officers are our friends, our brothers, our sisters, and we know they are doing their best in very difficult circumstances. Lakini wale wandogo ambao wataleta shida kidogo na ni wachache, hao ndio tutachukua hatua ya kuhakikisha kwamba hawaharibu jina ya serikali, hawaharibu jina ya kikosi ya polisi.
Still on peace efforts, elders from 7 pastoralist communities of Samburu, Borana, Turkana, Somali, Pokot, Maasai and Rendile in northern Kenya have vowed to foster peace by fighting cattle rustling. The elders agreed to share the available resources in counties of Marsabit, Laikipia, Samburu and Isiolo for their animals and respect set boundaries to avoid clashes. Speaking during a peace forum organized by Impact Kenya, which was held at Westgate Conservancy in Samburu, the elders also resolved to establish grazing zones and refrain their youths from grazing outside their borders.
Kama ni Laikipia iko na nyasi na wazee wa Samburu wanataka kuja kutafuta nyasi hapo, kwanza wazee wa Samburu waende Laikipia, waongee na wazee wa hapo, wajue ng'ombe inataka nyasi, wapee mpango ya kwenda huko. Kama ni Samburu yuko na nyasi, wazee wa Isiolo ama wa Laikipia waende kwanza wakutane na wazee wa hiyo area, waombe nyasi, ndio vijana wafuatilie baadaye.
Wasonyiro inatushikilia pamoja. Is the one thing which connects us. Kama wafugaji na kama counties. So tukihifadhi Wasonyiro, hiyo ni jambo ya muhimu sana kwetu sisi kama jamii wote ambao wanaishi hapa.
Mchukue fursa ya kuanzisha mambo kama hayo. Mambo ya peace ni mambo yenu, ndio? Ama mnangojea president aje waambie kaeni kwa amani? Si ni shughuli yetu hiyo wazee. Kwa hivyo nyinyi mnaanza hapo, Impact watakuja kupiga jeki.
Switching gears to matters education, the government is urging more learners to take up science, technology, engineering and mathematics, STEM-related subjects to attain the over 60% aspiration, according to the Chief Executive Officer of the School Equipment Production Unit, Dr. Joel Mabonga. Learners have often shied away from STEM subjects, with some perceiving them as hard. Dr. Mabonga, who spoke in Meru during the music festival, said that the performances by various students are a true testament to the close relationship between creative arts and STEM subjects.
Looking at the ecosystem of the CBE curriculum, it is more of we want to produce STEM-oriented career citizens.
Our focus is to ensure that we have more learners, as the government directive is, to ensure that more learners appreciate STEM. And we know very well that there is a connection between the arts, that is expressive arts, music, choral, with appreciation of STEM. So this time and this year, what SEPO has determined to do is to encourage learners in our schools to be able to take up STEM.
About 12 minutes past the top of the hour, we are due for a fast break, but when we come back, I still have more stories to run you through. We do business and finally, the latest from the world of sports. Keep it, Channel 1.
It's a proud moment for Kenyans because we are finally getting a uniting factor, something that is exciting for the entire lovers of not only just football but the entire sports.
I've really enjoyed especially the Harambee Stars games, sababu fans of course wamejituma and Kasarani is looking spectacular. It's beautiful, so it's a beautiful view from the outside world also.
Introducing Duracot Aquatec Credential, Kenya's first tintable waterproof in paint.
certificate and diploma level. Sensei Institute of Technology. My skills, my future.
Hesabu kwa ajili ya kusherekea fasili na asili ya soka barani Afrika, ligi za ndani na magwiji wasiotambulika.
Mangeni Alvin anaichanja ndani uzuri, David!
Michuano ya CAF ya mataifa ya Afrika 2024 ni njia ya kuzindua kupanua mtandao wa wachezaji ulimwenguni. Timu itakayoshinda itazawadiwa dola za Marekani milioni 3.5 pamoja na kujivunia kulinyanyua kombe hilo. Pata manufaa zaidi kutoka kwa CHAN 2024 mubashara na kipute cha kipekee kwenye runinga ya KBC Channel 1, mwenzio wa dhati michezoni.
Habari muhimu ni zile zinazoathiri maisha yako, na zinapojiri tuko hapo.
Tunakuletea habari zinazojiri nchini na kimataifa.
Hakuna kabila ambayo iko hapa Kenya kwa malipo ya mwingine.
Mambo ya matibabu isiwe starehe ya watu wadosi.
Tunakufahamisha kila wakati ili uwe tayari kwa yajayo.
We will also be designating the cartels as foreign terrorist organizations.
Katika ulimwengu unaosonga kwa kasi, usahihi wa habari ni muhimu.
The only thing that has changed, Senator Khalwale, is that you are defending the indefensible. If you allow me as a bullfighter, I'll fix him here and now, and it will be sorted out.
You were doing very well until you brought out your character of bullfighting.
Tunakupa habari sahihi na zisizoegemea upande wowote.
Pindi tu walioteuliwa wataidhinishwa na bunge la kitaifa.
Na ni hapa ndipo
Darubini,
kila siku ya Jumatatu na Jumanne
saa 1 jioni.
Welcome back to Lunchtime News. Moving on, a section of elders in Kericho County has voiced strong opposition to Friday's planned impeachment motion for the removal of Governor Eric Mutai. Led by Secretary of the Council of Kipsigis Elders, Edwin Kimeto, they warned members of the County Assembly supporting the move that they could derail development and undermine the will of the voters. The elders urged for unity between the county executive and the assembly.
In less than a year since the Senate thwarted an impeachment attempt against Governor Mutai, a fresh impeachment motion has been tabled at the Kericho County Assembly. The motion comes amidst claims of fictitious payments totaling over 85.7 million shillings to contractors and suppliers. However, the move has met stiff resistance from some elders in the county.
Political wrangles are unacceptable, and county staff must refrain from engaging in corruption. We urge both the MCAs and the county personnel to respect the governor and the executive. Equally, we call upon the governor to listen to and consider the views of other leaders and county workers.
And Ford Kenya Party has announced plans to begin recruiting new members and flag bearers for various elective seats in Kisii County starting September this year.
Kubaliana na bado ninashinikiza kwamba chama cha Ford Kenya kitakuwepo na kitaendelea kukuwepo.
chama cha Ford Kenya hakitavunjwa ama kuyeyushwa.
Bungoma Senator David Wakoli and Kisii Branch Chairman Charles Ndege, during an address to some party representatives in Kisii, also said the party will field candidates for elective posts come the 2027 polls. Doreen Arange for Lunchtime News.
The coast now, where widows in Kwale County are being urged to turn up in large numbers at coordinated census station later this month for a 2-day registration exercise aimed at amplifying their voices in county decision making. The exercise, scheduled for the 25th and 26th of this month, will take place across Lungalunga, Kinango, Matuga, Msambweni and Samburu constituencies. It seeks to establish accurate data on the population of widows. Officials say Kwale County will be the pilot for the widow census before the program is rolled out to the rest of the country.
Ili zoezi na pia wameambiwa vile watafanya, na tunatumai kwamba watafanya vizuri na tutapata idadi kamili ya wajane hapa Kwale na pia zile changamoto wanapitia.
As a marginalized group in the country, they are not budgeted for. So here, that's a challenge for them. So tukishapata data statistics will present this to onyesha this is a gap and it is something that needs to be considered.
Kenya joined the rest of the world in commemorating World Elephant Day, whose theme aligns with sustainable coexistence between humans and elephants. World Animal Protection Manager of Research and Planning, Patrick Muinde, speaking at Retooling Elephant Sanctuary in Samburu County, urged government and stakeholders to enhance awareness to reduce human-wildlife conflict. Currently, the Retooling Sanctuary is rehabilitating 38 orphaned and vulnerable young elephants as it seeks to protect them before releasing them to the wild in a move aimed at promoting wildlife conservation and boosting Kenya's tourism sector.
We are calling for protection of these elephant migration corridors, because if they are not there, if they are not protected, that is what is leading to human-wildlife conflict. And we are sensitizing local communities to ensure these corridors are there, they are protected, and by that we are going to have minimized human-wildlife conflicts.
Let's all cross our hands and come up together and support wildlife, because they don't really have a voice, but we humans who are living around them will be a voice for them.
Tutakuwa na fundraising yetu ya kufundraise vet unit ya kuwasaidia hawa watoto ama hawa yatima wakuwe tena na maisha ingine. Saa zingine unaweza wa rescue na wako na ugonjwa fulani, na saa zingine ni vigumu sana kuwaponya. So mimi ningeomba kila mmoja ambaye anafurahia kuwasaidia, itakuwa ni vizuri sana, na pia sisi tutafurahi kwa sababu community watakuwa na benefit, pia hao ndugu watakuwa na benefit.
In other news, Orthodox Christian youth drawn from Kiambu, Nairobi and Kajiado counties have launched a sensitization program aimed at advocating for peace and fighting gender-based violence. Speaking at St. Paul's Kagera Church, Archbishop Andreas Makarios of the Orthodox Church in Kenya said the church has given youth a platform to be crusaders of hope through prayers, music and drama. James Maura, president of the church's Youth Association, said the event is a game changer, allowing young people in the church to reflect on their future.
To come together and show to us, the old generation, that they themselves, they are able to be together, to work together, to embrace one another. So they are teaching us to do the same, to love and to embrace one another.
The young people of the Orthodox Church have been leading a campaign against gender-based violence, and right now the young people have also started things we are calling impact clubs that are going to impact communities in terms of looking at the ills of a community.
Very well, back to Homa Bay, where the Devolution conference is currently underway, and currently my colleague is currently with the Beatrice Njuguna, who is the General Manager, Information, Education and Communication at the Rural Electrification, and they will be bringing us a detailed conversation in regards to electrification. Kindly take it away, Wycliffe Okech.
Well, thank you so much, Ben Troy, back in Nairobi. Like you've mentioned it rightly, actually, we are coming to you live from Homa Bay County, the host for this year's Devolution Conference. And in the spirit of devolution, that is to bring services closer to Mwananchi. Right now, we are in a village called Kotora in the Game East Ward in Rangwe constituency, Homa Bay County, where REREC is undertaking last mile connectivity, that is electrifying villages. And right with me here, like you mentioned, I have the General Manager in charge of Information, Education and Communication, that is Beatrice Njuguna, briefly to tell us where we are in terms of powering villages through the initiative that is called Matching Fund. Madam Njuguna, Madam GM, look into the camera, talk to our viewers right now. Matching Fund, what is it? And tell us where we are right now.
Okay, thank you so much, Okech. REREC is here in Homa Bay County, participating in the Devolution Conference, where the Council of Governors is one of our key stakeholders under the Matching Fund program. This program, we partner with the county governments, where we call it a shilling for a shilling. If a county government, for example, Homa Bay, has been able to partner with REREC with a budget of 40 million, we matched up with a budget of 40 million, and now we're electrifying 40 wards. With a budget of around 80 million. That is what we do under this program of the Matching Fund, and we are also really encouraging the other county governments to come on board, and we also partner with the MPs, the CDF, where they also come on board, and we match up the budget of 5 million. That is why we are here today, and that is why we are participating in the Devolution Conference. In the current financial year, the corporation has set aside a budget of $500 million to be able now to partner with the county governments and the MPs to be able to come forth and join this program of the Matching Fund.
About how many counties are you partnering as we speak right now? Because we understand this is a nationwide project.
Currently, we have partnered with around 36 county governments, and it's a continuous program. Even if the counties have partnered before, they can still come back and partner again, because we have a target of electrifying 1 million customers. So 1 million customers, that is households. So we encourage them, even if the county governments have partnered, they can partner again and again. It's a continuous program that we have at REREC. Yes.
Thank you so much, Madam GM. Ben, I know we are short on time. We may be limited in time, yes, but then we are talking about bringing services closer to Mwananchi, and now it is about moving from darkness to light. Here with me, just one more minute to engage John Otora. Basically, this is one of the beneficiaries of this Matching the Fund, that initiative that is being run by the REREC in connection with other partners. John, you're a resident of Kotora village. Before connection, what was life before? Just briefly in 1 minute.
Before connection in this area, the life was pathetic actually, because we could not have the light that we are having now because of the REREC, and we were in a very bad situation. Yeah.
Yes. And now, what do you expect from this connection? What benefits do you stand to get?
First, there will be development in terms of security. First, that is one, and we are also hoping that in terms of in terms of education, we will also have a great improvement, because one, as just in a short brief, we have a polytechnic where this electricity is directed to, where those people who are learning there will also get time to operate those machines that are requiring to use the electricity.
All right.
Yeah.
Fine. John, I will engage you off air to get more of regarding what you stand to get a benefit from this development. Ben, that is the GM I've just spoken with, and also beneficiary of this initiative between the REREC and also the county governments and also the constituencies. But again, like you've heard, they have a partnership so far with 36, but then the GM is challenging other counties and also MPs to onboard this program so as to carry forward the rural electrification program. All that is what we have for now, but then much more regarding the devolution will bring our viewers up to date with every aspect of it. For now, it's back to you, Ben.
Thank you so much. That has been my colleague Wycliffe Okech live from Homa Bay there, engaging Beatrice Njuguna, the General Manager for RELEC in charge of information, education and communication, shedding light quite literally in regards to the last mile connectivity, especially in Homa Bay. But I've been able to pick out that they have set aside 80 million for 40 wards for this endeavor, and also 36 counties are in partnership with RELEC. They are the GM urging more counties to continue their partnership to ensure that all Kenyans, wherever they are, they have power. More a little bit later. Moving on, the county government of Machakos has moved to set the record straight regarding the ongoing nurses' strike, emphasizing that the industry action is part of a nationwide crisis rather than a county-specific issue. Speaking during a press briefing at Machakos Level 5 Hospital, County Secretary and Head of Public Service Dr. Muya Ndamboki dismissed claims of a total collapse of the health services, noting that only some wards have been affected.
The ongoing nationwide nurses' strike continues to affect service delivery in several counties. While acknowledging a breakdown in some inpatient services, Machakos County Secretary and Head of Public Service, Dr. Muya Ndamboki, said the situation was being managed.
All clinics are running as expected. Our outpatient is still transacting business as usual, treating our people.
The strike was triggered by, among other issues, poor working conditions and recruitment issues, but he says the county has over time taken steps to address the nurses' grievances, with 422 health workers promoted, out of which 132 were nurses.
In 2025, an additional 183 nurses were employed and posted across the county. In February to May this year, the government has promoted 231 nurses, cutting across the common cadre to those about to retire.
He urged the national government to fully devolve health functions and challenged leaders to contribute to resolving the crisis rather than escalating tensions. Meanwhile, in Migori County, nurses have accused the county government of intimidation following their decision to join the nationwide strike. Kenya National Union of Nurses County Secretary Ezekiel Mbire claimed the county executive had failed to honor the 2017 collective bargaining agreement despite multiple meetings.
We have faced threats, intimidation, and attempts to divide us. Let it be clear, these tactics will not work. This strike is about dignity. It is about fair treatment. It is about ensuring that when a nurse reports to work, they are motivated, valued, and empowered to deliver the best care to our people.
The union's treasurer, Phyllis Acheng, called on the county executive to resolve the matter through dialogue, maintaining that the nurses remain open to negotiations.
You get that they will send representatives at the meeting and they will not really take the issues of nurses at heart. And this has pushed the nurses to go on strike.
Marie Ambo reporting for the Lunchtime News.
Very well, we are due for our second break at about 33 minutes past the top of the hour. We still have business to make sense of and sports. And by the way, in sports today, we have Group A matches. Remember, KBC will be bringing those matches live. Remember, Group A has Harambee Stars indeed, but we will be playing on Sunday. Angola will be taking on the DR Congo and Morocco will be taking Zambia. More on that after the break.
It's here, it's bigger, it's better. For over a decade, the Devolution Conference has brought together local and international delegates to share ideas, build partnerships, and accelerate service delivery across counties. The Devolution Conference 2025 kicks off on the 12th to the 15th of August at Homa Bay School in the heart of Homa Bay County. This year's theme is For the People, for Prosperity. Devolution as a catalyst for inclusion, equity, and social justice. This year, we're doing things differently. We're listening to you. Every breakout session is partner-led, focused on good governance, human rights, financial inclusivity, and social justice. The conference will be officially opened by His Excellency the President, Honorable Dr. William Ruto, on the 13th of August 2025. To participate, register today at www.devolutionconference.cog.go.ke. Deadline for registration is the 8th of August 2025. This event will be live on KBC Channel 1. The Devolution Conference 2025, for the people, for prosperity.
Hesabu kwa ajili ya kusherekea fasili na asili ya soka barani Afrika, ligi za ndani na magwiji wasiotambulika.
Mangeni Alvin anaichanja ndani uzuri, David!
Michuano ya CAF ya mataifa ya Afrika 2024 ni njia ya kuzindua kupanua mtandao wa wachezaji ulimwenguni. Timu itakayoshinda itazawadiwa dola za Marekani milioni 3.5 pamoja na kujivunia kulinyanyua kombe hilo. Pata manufaa zaidi kutoka kwa CHAN 2024 mubashara na kipute cha kipekee kwenye runinga ya KBC Channel 1, mwenzio wa dhati michezoni.
We are real people who give real care. Visit www.definiteassurance.com or email info@definiteassurance.com for more information, or contact 0708-247-247 or 0788-247-247. Definite Assurance. You are definitely covered. Je, uko nao?
Assessing things, says here's a chance here for Madagascar, who finally find the back of the net through on Tukinyana in the closing stages of the game. And there he was to pounce.
Mbolea inayoitwa Elgon Dhabiti DAP kwa upanzi wa mimea yenye afya bora. Halafu natumia mbolea ya Dhabiti CAN ama Dhabiti Urea kwa ukuaji wa mimea bora. Hii imenisaidia kupata mavuno mengi nikilinganisha na siku za hapo mbeleni.
Mbolea ya Elgon Dhabiti inapatikana kwa viwango vya kilo 10, 25 na kilo 50 kote nchini. Elgon Kenya Limited.
From the listed housing developments, select your preferred location and apply for a housing unit to begin your journey towards home ownership. Prices start from 640,000 Kenya shillings. Visit Boma Yangu at www.bomayangu.go.ke. Brought to you by Affordable Housing Board. Makao Bora, Jukumu Letu.
Nataka ku-urge Kenyans wajitokeze kwa wingi wa support Harambee Stars sababu sisi ndio host na Kenya tuna need the 12th man so that to support the boys wa perform vizuri in CHAN and hashtag CHAN iko KBC.
Looking to advertise on KBC? KBC announcement services are now available on eCitizen. Visit kbc.ecitizen.go.ke and fill out the online application form. It's simple. 1. Complete the form. 2. Upload required documents. 3. Receive a quotation based on word count. And 4. Get notified via SMS when your announcement is ready. Please note, clearly indicate the type of announcement, service station, and all relevant details. 2. All applications must be made online only. Manual submissions will not be accepted. And 3. Announcements will air after news bulletins. For assistance, reach us on email ecitizen@kbc.co.ke or use our social media handles, Facebook, your Facebook account, and X at your X account. Or you can call us on 0723 892 654 or 0734 780 124. KBC announcements. Simple, fast, and digital.
Welcome back to Lunchtime News. Many thanks indeed for keeping me company. Moving on, the youth are being urged to shun political incitement and focus on peace building. Nairobi businessman Simon Ngunjiri Gadoni cautioned the young generation against being used by leaders he described as unpatriotic, stressing that political change should be pursued through the ballot. He encouraged young people to keep calm and wait for the next general election to elect leaders who truly represent their interests.
So politicians, I think they should be advised. It is not so good. Look for other avenues for tackling to the youth. Okay, do demonstration, let them do demonstration. But you know, according to the Constitution, it is mandated. The demonstration is mandated, it is picketing. But use the system, which is it is diplomatic.
Time to make sense of shillings and cents in business. Cooperative Bank Group has reported 14.1 billion shillings in first half net profit that was driven by higher interest income. Increased net loans and advances to customers saw the lender book a 12.6% increase in total interest income to 44.8 billion shillings.
Cooperative Bank Group increased net loans and advances to customers from 375.6 billion shillings to 391.3 billion. From this, the lender netted 44.8 billion shillings, representing a 12.6% increase. In addition, Coop Bank booked 14.1 billion shillings in non-interest income, mainly on account of higher income from fees and commissions that marginally increased from 6.32 billion shillings to 6.33 billion shillings. On the other hand, total non-interest expenses reduced 3.3% to 15.42 billion shillings due to lower interest expense on customer deposit that reduced from 13.57 billion shillings to 13.38 billion shillings. Overall, the increased total interest income and lower total interest expenses were responsible for driving up Coop Bank's operating income by 10.8% to 43.5 billion shillings. Total assets increased 13.2% to 811.9 billion shillings, driven by higher customer deposits that rose 7.95% to 547.7 billion shillings. Despite the increased profit, Coop Bank has not proposed any interim dividend payout to shareholders, just like was the case last year.
To sports tourism now, where tour operators and other tourism stakeholders are urging the government to embrace innovation in promoting sports tourism, claiming that upcoming events like the ongoing Africa Nations Championship and the 2027 Africa Cup of Nations set to be hosted by Kenya, Uganda and Tanzania are major opportunities to boost tourism activities. They are also calling on the government to work closely with industry players to develop affordable and all-inclusive packages for tourists visiting Kenya.
When we are focusing on the 2027, the AFCON that will take place here, it will not just be exposing Kenya as a tourist destination, but also putting us on the map, whereby apart from just coming to, just purchasing a ticket to watch a game, you can also get to experience some like cultural tourism and safari destinations that we have in the country. As stakeholders, we need to come up with very special packages, whereby we are going to give our clients or the spectators or whoever that is coming to watch the game, like a full package, in a way that we can partner with the organizers so that we have like an accommodation for the spectators or those coming to watch the game. We have like a return ticket for them. We have like an entry ticket to, to watch the game. And then of course, other transportation, accommodation and excursions, so that we give them like a one full package.
Moving on, the Chartered Institute of Procurement and Supply Global CEO Ben Farrell is in Kenya for a week-long official visit. The high-level mission is aimed at strengthening procurement and supply chain excellence across East Africa. Since his arrival, Farrell has met with senior government officials, academic leaders and industry players to explore new training opportunities, enhance professional standards and deepen regulatory partnership. The visit is anticipated to deliver tangible results, including advanced training programs, strengthened regulatory collaborations, and broader professional certification opportunities across Kenya.
This is whether it's the Aga Khan or any other institutions, to come, academic ones, to come and talk to us about what more we can be doing to open up the possibility of providing SIPS curriculum to the students in many, many more places around the world.
Kenya could face a shortage of rice in coming months if the country does not import grain. Agriculture Cabinet Secretary Mutahi Kagwe says Kenya only produces 20% of the 1.3 million tons of rice consumed in the country.
Kenya consumes about 1.3 million tons of rice annually. Agriculture Cabinet Secretary Mutahi Kagwe projects the demand to rise to 1.5 million tons this year, since Kenya's rice consumption per capita in 2025 is expected to reach 29 kilograms. This translates to a national requirement of about 1.5 million metric tons of rice for the year, given the country's population of 54.79 million. Kagwe says Kenya needs about 625,000 metric tons between July and December 2025.
We only produce about 20% of our rice intake, of our rice consumption. Only 20%. The rest of it, year in, year out, is imported rice.
The Agriculture Cabinet Secretary says available stocks of rice from farmers currently stands at only 20,000 bags, against a projected demand of more than 350,000 bags for key government institutions comprising the Ministry of Education at 130,000 bags, special programs at 90,000 bags, State Department for Correctional Services at 60,000 bags, and the Kenya Defence Forces at 40,000 bags. Other agencies such as the Administration Police, General Service Unit, National Youth Service, and Kenya Police Service also consume substantial volumes of rice. Local farmers have argued that the government should not allow millers to import rice without exhausting local produce.
The government wants to introduce sensors and other data gathering tools commonly known as telematics to collect information about driver behavior on roads in a bid to increase road safety across the country. The Principal Secretary for Roads, Engineer Joseph Mbogwa, says roads such as the upcoming new Nairobi-Nakuru-Mau Summit Highway could be developed using data gathered through the technology.
The telematics industry in Kenya is experiencing substantial growth, driven by increased adoption of connected vehicles and a rising demand for fleet management solutions. Telematics, which integrates telecommunications and informatics to remotely monitor and manage vehicles, is becoming increasingly popular in various sectors, including logistics, construction and agribusiness. Now, the government wants to use this technology to inform how Kenyan roads are designed.
And I imagine that if these gadgets can also speak to such, they could also help us in our road designs. Because if they can indicate where most people brake, where most people skid, and I think this can also help us to improve our infrastructure.
The rising cases of deaths on Kenyan roads have been blamed on both human error and poor road design. But could telematics and data analysis help curb the trend?
Whenever an accident occurs and we lose lives, the first culprit to be blamed is the designer of the road. And everyone will talk about bumps, there should have been, there's a bright corner, there's everything else, and we are unable sometimes to defend ourselves. So telematics will help us because we can now run into data and speak to some of the culprits.
Another application of telematics popular with Kenyans include vehicle anti-theft technology.
If we're talking numbers, obviously the entry levels, the stolen vehicle recovery units are in abundance. But I think the biggest value, and as you said, the biggest gap is for now advanced telematic solutions.
So you'll find that like in Kenya, like 10,000 plus, like 400, you will find that it's just 10,400. But when you look at, let's say, Uganda, it's almost 15,000 to 20,000 thefts. So you'll find that Kenya, we are faring way better than our counterparts.
Alan Oko, Lunchtime News.
Kenya will next month begin negotiations with the International Monetary Fund on a new funding program. In his post-monetary policy briefing, Central Bank of Kenya Governor Dr. Kamau Thuge says the government is keen on securing a funded program to support fiscal and economic reforms, a position already communicated to the IMF. Dr. Thuge further says the Central Bank of Kenya is assessing the potential of adding gold to Kenya's reserve assets as part of efforts to diversify foreign exchange reserves.
We do expect an IMF mission in September to start negotiations on a new program. We expect that program, will, when it goes to the board, will be discussed together with the Article 4 consultation discussions. Our preference will be to have a funded program, and that is what we have expressed to the IMF. There are teams that are visiting the country just to go and see the potential for gold, but I think just to make a long story short, it is our intention to diversify our reserve position and to include some gold elements.
The Intergovernmental Authority and Development Authority, IGAD, is calling for increased e-commerce to facilitate cross-border trade. IGAD Chair Dr. Wakane Gebeyehu says e-commerce will support youth-led digital startups to promote employment and provide tailor-made solutions for regional challenges.
Intergovernmental Authority and Development, IGAD, is grappling with over 50% of youth unemployment as more youth join the workforce.
How many of these users have job?
In Kenya, while overall employment is at 12.7%, youth aged between 15 and 34 face an unemployment rate of 67%, with over 1 million youths entering the labor market annually.
But without peace,
there's no development. Without peace, there are no jobs. Without peace, our young people don't get the opportunities that we are really fighting for to ensure that they get.
IGAD says political hostilities facing the member states is due to untapped youthful potential.
It's very easy to recruit our youth to not only for the good purpose, also for the bad purpose and for a wrong purpose, which may create a challenge for the citizens of the region.
To correct this, the Intergovernmental Authority on Development, IGAD, is pushing for investment in technology and monetization of online platforms to support youth innovation.
I know the countries are investing upon, but that investment is very little in terms of the data that we are saying. So most of the users are using technology.
This is earmarked to provide tailor-made solutions for local challenges and minimize of import of technology. IGAD member states have raised concern over increased number of unemployed youth, with some member states recording highs of 80%. This is a challenge that they say if investment is made in technology and affirmative action is indeed implemented where opportunities are concerned, then peace as well as social-economic development is assured. I'm Regina Manyara reporting.
A section of residents in Kakamega County have urged members of parliament to amend the Kenya Medical Supplies Authority KEMSA Act to allow Kenya Medical Supplies Authority KEMSA to run pharmacies in public hospitals, decrying inadequate supply of the products to the facility. Let's take more.
Mtu umeenda kununua na wewe ni mgonjwa anakuambia enda nunua dawa tukuwekee kwenye hela. Hii hapana ungwana. Kwa hiyo naomba hii kitu badilisha. So KEMSA take over all pharmacies in Kenya. Then mtakuwa tunasema kunasaidia wananchi insurance. Bila hiyo is a robbery without violence.
Very well, from business now to sports. Over 40 golf players are competing in the third leg of the Professional Golfers of Kenya Equator Tour, which teed off today at Mount Kipipiri Golf and Resort in Nyandarua. The 4-day event, scheduled to end on Sunday, offers the golfers a platform for growth and excellence. With two thrilling legs already concluded at Ruiru Sports Club and Limuru County Club, the series is taking the game to diverse courses across the country, challenging players to adapt and excel in varying conditions. The second leg, held at Limuru Country Club, was won by Greg Snow. And now to Chan. Mauritania occupy the second position in Group B of the African Nations Championship Chan 2024 with 7 points behind leaders Tanzania. This is after claiming a 1-0 win over 10-man Burkina Faso in Dar es Salaam. Alassane Diop's first half penalty enough to settle a contest shaped by VAR, red card and frantic late defending. In other Group B results, Madagascar claimed a comfortable 2-0 win over Central Africa Republic.
So doing battle for the very first time at the African Nations Championships, but let's not forget that at the start of 2024, they crossed paths in the group stages. Alfred Jabani for the second time this evening to Alassane Diop. Diop sends Sanu the wrong way. And Mauritania have the advantage against 10-man Burkina Faso as they set their sights on a quarter-final berth. And Burkina Faso doing battle for the very first time at the African Nations Championships. But let's not forget that at the start of 2024, they crossed paths in the group stages.
The Kenya Academy of Sports has unveiled a state-of-the-art training facility in Mbioni, Mwala constituency, setting the stage for a new chapter in nurturing athletic talent. The academy comes complete with a football pitch, a volleyball court, modern ablution blocks, a borehole, spectator stands, and a host of other vital amenities designed to give young athletes the tools they need to excel. Local leaders, led by Mwala MP Vincent Musyoka, said that the investment will open doors for aspiring sportsmen and women, helping to raise the standard of competition from the grassroots to the national stage and even beyond.
We know we have a lot of talents in this constituency, as is across the country. Lakini hizi talanta ambazo zinataka zikuzwe kutoka chini. Kidogo hatujakuwa na uongozi ambao umeweza kufacilitate.
We finished the excavation of the field for the volleyball, the football, the netball. What we are now excavating on your left, as you are interviewing me, is the stand. We are projecting to finish this project by next year March.
Very well, let's take a quick break. We'll be right back with more news.
From the listed housing developments, select your preferred location and apply for a housing unit to begin your journey towards home ownership. Prices start from 640,000 Kenya shillings. Visit Boma Yangu at www.bomayangu.go.ke. Brought to you by Affordable Housing Board. Makao Bora, Jukumu letu.
Welcome back. Let's move on. Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi is challenging legislators to use the National Government Constituency Development Fund for the intended purposes to spur development at grassroots level. Mudavadi spoke during the commissioning of a 40 million shilling tuition block at the Moody Awori Primary School, where he called out legislators who use the funds to enrich themselves. He further urged them to use the funds to champion for transformation in education, infrastructure and security.
Watu wasipore pesa za CDF ili wale ambao wanalipa ushuru kama nyinyi, mkishalipa ushuru hizo pesa ndio zinatengeneza CDF. Tunataka ushuru wetu utumike kwa njia ambayo inafaa.
Penda kuomba wale watu wanapinga CDF hawajua wanafanya nini, kwa sababu ukitembea Kenya mzima kila kitu unaona tu ya CDF.
As a board, we intend to come down very hard on any constituency where funds are misused. We have also aligned all our foundation for all our work in all the Republic towards achievement of the bottom-up economic transformation agenda.
To the corridors of justice, a Bungoma court has postponed a multi-million graft case by the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission, pitting former Njue Sugar Company managing director and 7 other top officials to the 22nd of October 2025. This is after the defense informed Senior Principal Magistrate Josephat Gishimo that one accused person had failed to appear in court due to medical reasons. The case was scheduled to conclude with the last 2 witnesses, an EACC detective Abraham Kemboi and former Njue Managing Director Saul Wasilwa, who are set to give their testimonies. The Graft case dates back to 2018 when 8 people were charged with swindling 11 million shillings from the sugar company.
With getting an early date is, we normally close the diary for these matters. We had closed the diary here today and tomorrow. The matter is adjourned to 22nd of October.
Hundreds of National Police reservists from Igembe North Sub-County in Meru County have undergone fresh census and registration as part the directives of Interior Cabinet Secretary Kipchumba Murkomen. According to the Igembe North Sub-County Deputy Police Commander Mark Bitok, the exercise targets to get the exact number of the National Police reservists so that they can be issued with NPR identity cards and also be added to the payroll. Bitok added that the NPR have been of much assistance in combating cattle rustling and banditry along the border of Meru and Isiolo counties, noting that the census and registration plus stipends will boost their working morale.
Hapa bonda yetu ya Isiolo tumekuwa na utovu wa usalama, mifugo yetu kuibiwa kila mara. Lakini tangu serikali iweze kuleta hawa maafisa, wameweza kukabiliana na bandits na leo wamekuja kuangaliwa.
Wamesitisha ya kwamba kila mtu awe na account ya Equity ndio waweze kuwa wanawekelewa ile stipends wanapata kila mwezi.
A 5-day high-level training aimed at strengthening the prevention of torture in places of detention has kicked off in Nairobi, bringing together local and international stakeholders committed to advancing human rights in Kenya's correctional facilities. Foluso Adegalu, Program Officer, Network of African National Human Rights Institutions, emphasized that purpose of the training, including building the capacity of Kenya National Commission on Human Rights, KNCHR, staff to conduct effective prevention monitoring of detention facilities and particularly prisons, and to strengthen collaboration among key stakeholders working together towards prison reforms in the country.
Of African National Human Rights Institutions, NANRI, in partnership with Danish Institute Against Torture Dignity, is being conducted for staff from the Kenya National Commission on Human Rights, KNCHR, alongside representatives from key civil society organizations, including IMLU, Independent Medical Legal Unit, and Midrift Human Rights Network. The training focuses on enhancing the capabilities of national human rights monitors to detect, document, and respond to human rights violations.
In many places of the world, prisons are extremely overcrowded, so people live in a cramped situation where basic hygiene standards are not respected. Food, water can be a problem.
And also the other objective is to also strengthen collaboration between the Kenya National Commission on Human Rights and other relevant stakeholders, particularly within the Kenyan context.
Kalia Cabanella of the Danish Institute Against Torture highlighted the importance of independent monitoring bodies like the KNCHR.
Sometimes prison authorities may use force when not necessary. That's why we need an independent body to be visiting so that the society can know what is happening and can improve this situation.
As a commission, we investigate cases of torture. We also undertake human rights monitoring. The intention there is to assess the risk of some of the violations that are likely to happen, including torture.
Karin Hansen, a medical doctor with dignity, emphasized the need to recognize prisoners' health as a public health issue. They called for multi-sectoral collaboration.
The people working in the prison might get sick from the prisoners being sick, and also when the prisoners get out, they will spread the diseases all over the society. So this is a responsibility for all of us to carry.
There's the need for every sector of the society to work together to ensure that this prison system are effective and efficient in a way that that does not lead to violation of human rights.
The training is a broader effort to align Kenya's detention practices with international human rights standards and prevent torture. Mariambo reporting for the Lunchtime News.
Security agencies in Malindi, Kilifi County have assured visitors of their safety during the peak tourism season in the region. Speaking during a monthly cleanup by the Progress Welfare Association of Malindi, OCS James Wairia said measures are in place to curb crime and keep the town safe. The exercise involving the police, the Kenya Wildlife Service, hoteliers and youth conservationists exercise was expected to cover over 140, was aimed to make Malindi green and blue. The association chairperson Kate Mwikali announced plans for the first wetlands marathon to promote conservation.
Be safe. They'll be safe, and they have nothing to fear.
I want to thank the security team kwa vile mmeendelea kutufanyia kazi na kutuprotect, and we appreciate that. We also appreciate how you've also now sensitized the young participants.
The tourists and the people who come to visit the ocean and the restaurants, and they should not litter the environment because it pollutes the environment, leading to other soils. The example, the soil pollution.
Sana. Kenya and the Islamic Republic of Iran have signed 8 memorandum of understanding after the conclusion of a 2-day forum in Nairobi. The 7th session, officiated by Prime Cabinet Secretary and Cabinet Secretary for Foreign and Diaspora Affairs Musalia Mudavadi, and the Islamic Republic of Iran Minister of Agriculture Dr. Ghulamreza Nouri, focused on strengthening bilateral relations and shared commitments and charting a clear path for deeper cooperation across diverse sectors.
Over the past 2 days, Kenya and the Islamic Republic of Iran have held deliberations and reaffirmed shared commitments aimed at strengthening bilateral ties across diverse sectors. During the 7th session of the Joint Commission for Cooperation held over 2 days in Nairobi, the two nations signed 8 deals spanning different sectors, including the Kenya National Chamber of Commerce Industry, affordable housing, agriculture, trade and industries, transportation, infrastructure, health, scientific education, culture and tourism exchange.
Accumulation of the matters and topics that we needed to bring inline ministries, delegations from both sides to engage themselves and to finalize those instruments.
According to the Islamic Republic of Iran Minister of Agriculture, Dr. Gholam Reza Nouri, the focal points are leveraging private sector partnerships to unlock trade and investment potential and strengthen monitoring mechanisms to track deliverables.
I also wish to emphasize again on the potentials and the capacities of both countries. Kenya as a hub and a gateway to the East African countries and community, and Iran as a gateway to Middle East and all the CIS countries of the region.
So it shows that both sides are determined to expand their relations in all areas, possible areas, and we established as well, we agreed on to establish a follow-up committee for implementation of all these instruments and documents.
Prime Cabinet Secretary and Cabinet Secretary for Foreign and Diaspora Affairs Musalia Mudavadi underscored the importance of the cordial diplomatic relations between Kenya and Iran.
There are 8 memorandums that we have signed today in the fields of agriculture, technology, housing, and we see this as very, very important in developing the trade ties between Kenya and Iran.
The 8th session of the Joint Commission for Cooperation will be held in Tehran, Iran in 2027.
The government is retooling school heads and teachers to adequately equip them with the necessary skills to fully implement the competency-based education system after the August holidays. Director for Basic Education in the Ministry of Education, Anne Gashoya, who presided over the 3rd Foundations for Learning Conference at the Aga Khan University Institute for Educational Development, noted the government's commitment to continuous professional development program investment held under the theme Empowering Educators and Leaders, Innovation and Insights for Sustained Transformative Change. The conference brought together stakeholders and key players in the education sector from across East Africa, whose clarion call was strengthening teacher preparations for a robust and educated citizenry.
Has also invested in retooling of the teachers to ensure that these teachers are well prepared to implement the competency-based education effectively.
Educators are the single most powerful determinants of students' learning outcomes. And it is their dedication, their creativity and leadership that shape the trajectories of our learners' lives.
So the Foundations for Learning project, as has been mentioned, has reached educators and school leaders in some of the most underserved areas of the region, and it's the innovations and insights emerging from this work that are shaping classrooms and shaping their futures.
The government says it will continue to increase taxes on imported goods that Kenyan manufacturers produce locally in a bid to encourage uptake of locally produced goods. Industry Principal Secretary Dr. Juma Mukwana says local manufacturers should take advantage of this policy to produce new products locally and help reduce reliance on imports.
The Ministry of Investments, Trade and Industry indicates that Kenya exports only 20% of its locally manufactured goods. Kenya imports 80% of goods consumed locally. The government says this trend can only be reversed through enhanced local manufacturing.
If you start producing a product here, we increase the taxes of that product when it's imported so that we protect you. That's what we do. That's what government does. So if you start producing matchboxes and we have enough of them, we will put 50% tax on the matchboxes that are imported so that you can sell your. That's what we do. But if you're not producing, then we cannot put tax on something that nobody's producing, because then we are just increasing the price of that product.
Even though manufacturing contributes about 7.3% of the gross domestic product, players say the sector can still be supported through new niche processes introduced through technology.
The real person to make money is the young people, and they can make money through their technologies, as you have already seen here, through entrepreneurship ideas, through production ideas. We need a country that is productive, not consuming.
He was speaking at the closing ceremony of the Kenya Industry and Entrepreneurship Project SKIES program, where the youth were being recognized as Kenya's secret weapon in industrializing the country through innovation.
So within this project, we actually worked with 13 incubators and accelerators whose capacity was strengthened with the funding that came through to them. And they were able to build capacity of over 500 innovators coming from all over the country.
When you talk about innovations that are dealing with special needs, where you have AI being applied for tech to drive that forward, where you have stories of innovations coming on board from students who are saying, look, it takes you 2 hours to get from this point to that point in terms of getting to school. And now through our tech, we're able to optimize that. I think
backed by the Ministry of Investments, Trade and Industry and the World Bank, the future of the next SKIES program is currently under review for further scaling and implementation. Alanauko, Lunchtime News.
Very well, that report by my colleague Alan Oko takes us to the tail end of this broadcast. Many thanks indeed for joining us on this extended bulletin. Remember, we do not have the 7 p.m. and 9 p.m. news because of the matches, the CHAN Group A matches. Remember, Kenya is also in Group A, but today we are looking at Morocco versus Zambia and Angola versus the DR Congo. Remember, those matches will be beamed right here. Remember, CHAN Eco KBC. Remember the hashtag still is Chan Eco KBC. Thank you so much on behalf of everyone who has worked tirelessly to ensure this broadcast is a success, including my director Mugo Karaoke for the broadcast. Thank you so much. Byron Abuli has been my colleague on the sign language interpretation at the bottom of your screen. Do have yourself a blessed afternoon and weekend ahead. Don't forget to check out our social media spaces as well.
Meet the experts who empower you with competent skills at Graft, certificate and diploma level. Sensei Institute of Technology. My skills, my future.
We are real people who give real care. Visit www.definiteassurance.com or email info@definiteassurance.com for more information or contact 0708 247